ACCUSTATS Video Productions presents from Chesapeake, Virginia, the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. I'm Bill Incardona along with the Professor Grady Mathews. Grady, this matchup this afternoon between Jim Rempe and Shannon Daulton figures to be a very exciting one because both of these players know one another very well. They're both great players, and I don't know who to pick in this match.
I don't either, and one of the great strengths of both of these champions is their shot selection, in my opinion. You hardly will ever see one of these guys shoot the wrong shot.
That's true. Both of these players have a load of experience, particularly Jim Rempe, who just recently got inducted into the Hall of Fame in New Orleans not too long ago.
And deservedly so.
He sure does. Anyways,
I might give a slight break edge, my friend, to Daulton. But when it comes down to the experience and perhaps the defensive or the finesse position, is real slight to Rempe.
And also, I would give an edge to Rempe in coming from behind. I mean, Rempe is such a composed player. You know, he's on the loser side. He plays so well from the loser side. He just refuses to give up, along with players like Nick Varner, Buddy Hall. You know, those are guys that I would hate to face on the loser side. For that matter, any side of the tournament. But on the loser side, there's no give up in Rempe. He can be behind 9, 10 to nothing and still give it his best.
That's for sure. He's possessed of the ultimate fighting heart. Now, we had 220 players this week here in Chesapeake, the 27th U.S. Open. They're racking the 9-ball on the spot, which has changed the break performance considerably. Let's see how these two guys decide to break the balls.
And they're also being racked with the Sardo tight rack. That means each and every time the balls are pushed up there, they're racked. All balls are frozen. They're racked the same way each and every time. All balls are frozen, perfectly racked balls.
Now, see, that's what Rempe used, the medium speed cut break, but he did not make a ball. And
we have the radar gun on the feature table. It'll tell us exactly how hard each player breaks the balls. That particular time Rempe broke the balls, what was the stat on that? We'll get it up in just a second.
Well, it wasn't very hard. I'm going to guess it was
17.8 miles an hour.
Now Shannon will try to thin this one ball on the left side and come back down the table, just like that. That's a nice shot.
It's perfect execution of a nice safety by Shannon Daulton.
All right, now Jimmy's going to have to go 2 rails here, I believe. Or he could masse around the 2 ball. What shot do you like here?
Well, go ahead and show us exactly what you mean when you say he made.
Well, he'll go 1, 2, and into the ball, thusly. Now, I like to play to hit the 1 ball thick here rather than thinning the 1 ball. But he's left hand on the shot. It's not the easiest shot, especially in game number 1.
And it's not an easy shot in reference to where the 2 is, though. In order for him to play position on the 2, he's going to have to hit the 1 ball with a certain speed, and he can't hit it that hard. So therefore, if he happens to miss the 1, he's probably going to set out. Notice how easy he hit the 1. See, he put all his eggs in that basket. I pocket the 1, I might win this rack. If I miss the 1, I figure to lose it.
He got kind of center fieldish here, though, didn't he? This is awkward for the side pocket. He might scratch off the 6 ball. I don't think he can get it to the end rail past the 6 ball. If he plays it in the corner, it's a pretty thin cut. He's got to go around the table or pull it past the side pocket and kill it. It's a tough shot. He may elect to play safe here, Billy.
Quite possibly. From the monitor, it looks like he can cut it in the lower right-hand corner with a low ball and kill it. But, of course, when you're at the table, you get a truer feel of the angle. Right there's a good shot at the angle that he has. He might not be able to do that. He's digging down. Looks like he's trying to do it. Well, he went twice across the table, and he hit it with a certain stroke that he overcut the 2 ball, not allowing the cue ball to get away from him, which is a very, very good shot.
Now, he's still got a problem with the 5 ball, which is resting by the 7 ball right by his bridge hand. He wants to get kind of straight in on this 4 ball. Actually, this is a nice angle. He can draw this straight back and be able to play the 5 ball in the far right-hand corner.
But he's going to have to get really good on the 5 ball to drop for the 6 on the other end of the table.
He's obtained the best angle he could here. I believe he can just come down a couple of rails and come all the way back to the other end rail.
Now, he has to be careful with this shot, because if he strikes it too hard, he may end up scratching in the corner pocket. So this is a very delicate shot here. Oh, he played it 3 cushions around, realizing that there was a chance that he might have scratched if he would use a high ball.
That was a nice shot. Takes lots of practice to be able to use that inside English like that. Sometimes what I do to help me pocket such a shot and to also get position, I just imagine I'm playing a 3-cushion billiard with the cue ball.
Well, whatever technique or whatever way you use to feel comfortable with the shot is great if you feel comfortable shooting it in that fashion. So therefore, if that's your technique and it works for you, that's the way to do it. And it's not a bad technique at all.
Shannon looks pretty loose, Billy, in this early on in this game. You know, the first game I've always found difficult to play well, and he's made a nice run out.
Yeah, he certainly has. He jumped out of the chair and he was faced with a difficult layout, and you know, he negotiated quite well, and he's won game number 1.
Let's see if Shannon uses any kind of soft or medium break speed. I doubt it. He's always been pretty aggressive, and he's got a nice power break, and I'd be surprised to see any other selection on his part.
He's got a power break, he's got a great stroke, and he's one of the better shot makers in the world today as well. So therefore, Shannon certainly has a lot of tools.
Well, he's won bank pool titles, 1-pocket titles, 9-ball titles. About the only thing he doesn't play is straight pool and 3-cushion.
And that's because he doesn't even try to play those games.
Oh, if he tried, I'm sure he would excel at them too. Oh, he didn't. He used an easy break. All right, we're going to take it. Go ahead, Billy.
In each rack, there's going to be a shot we consider a key shot. The last rack, the key shot was the 5-ball going from the 5 to the 6. In just a second, we're going to go back to that, take a look at it, and Grady will describe it to you.
Well, Billy suggested that this ball did not follow easily, that he could scratch. Now, this is a nice shot. He used a just below center ball, right English, and went 3 rails for nice position on the 6-ball.
Exactly. Now, the key shot was the 5-ball. After shooting the 5, putting it down, the 6, 7, 8, and 9 were routine, and he made it appear so. He's back at the table in rack number 2.
I'd like to have the break speed of Shannon Daulton's previous attempt.
And the results.
It was even easier than Rempe's.
And the results, which made it even look better. Pocketing 2 balls on the break and coming up with a shot. And had he not pocketed the 1 on the break, he was in perfect line to pocket the 1. That's awfully good when you can play position off the break.
Now he's just going to cut this 7 in the corner. Easy like this.
He hit it pretty thick, and he got up. He jumped up from the ball. Did you notice it?
Yeah. Well, that's a shot, Billy. If I don't play to overcut that by about an inch from the exact middle of the pocket, I don't ever make it. I miss it just like he did.
And that's a good thought to have when you're shooting shots like that, is to overcut them slightly. Because shots of that nature are missed, they're usually missed by undercutting them.
Well, we haven't seen one overcut ball of that nature in the whole tournament. At least I haven't. You know what I'll do with that shot sometimes, Billy? I'll go 3 rails just because it allows me to hit it with a nice medium speed, and I won't ever miss the ball.
And when you shoot a shot softly that you have to cut to it with a certain degree, you know, it has a tendency to skid more often than it does when you hit it harder.
At any rate, it's 1 each, and Rempe looks nice and loose himself.
Well, you know Rempe's going to be prepared to play. He always comes to the table prepared to play, you know. He's the type of a guy that's just as dangerous in game 1 as he is in game 21.
Yes, and like Nick Varner, he's the most likely candidate to be out practicing in the tournament room at 3 a.m.
So therefore, after game number 2, this is a tied-up match of 1 game apiece. Both players winning the game. Rempe at the table preparing to open up the balls in game number 3. When he broke the balls in the first game, he broke them about 18 miles per hour.
We never did get Shannon's break speed, did we? I don't think so. But he hit them easier than Rempe did.
Yeah, since the 9-ball is
18.9, we're told Shannon struck the ball with.
Since the 9-ball is the ball that's racked in the foot spot and not the 1, the players seem to feel that the slower break is more effective. They can play the 1 on the side, control the cue ball a little bit better, which then consequently will allow them to string racks.
See, that's what I was talking about. He used the cut break and position on the 1 ball.
That's an experienced player right there, Grady. Position on the 1 ball. By using the softer break, he controls not only the cue ball better, but also the object ball, that being the 1 ball, with the ball that he hits. If he pockets the ball on the break, he's going to be in pretty good line to run out, and this is exactly what he's done. well, very well, pocketing a ball on a break and playing position on the one.
And I think it's noteworthy, my friend, that the one ball went one rail, as did the cue ball.
Exactly.
They kind of crisscrossed, and let's see if he'll be able to continue doing that.
And you people out there that are watching this, practice that break. You know, give yourself a chance to string some racks by playing position on the one ball.
At any rate, he's in pretty good shape right now. Go into this 6-ball gently, just like that. Now he'll go one rail across and above the 5-ball. Like to have a little angle on it.
Right, and this figures to be the key shot of this rack, because the 5-ball was laying in a very awkward position on the table, very high on the rail, close to the side pocket. A ball that you have to get pretty good on in order to run out. That was the key shot of this rack, going from the 4 to the 5.
Well, he looks like he's going to go to the right side of the 6-ball, and I can't fault him for that. This is eminently missable if you try to just roll it in.
Very nicely struck.
That's even better for the side pocket.
Well, he hit it with the speed he felt most comfortable with, and that was the speed that allowed him to play position for the side. It was just a matter of preference. That time he felt more comfortable hitting with that speed, which suggested the side pocket was the choice there for position.
And this is fine. He can go 1 or 2 rails, but I believe he'll just come up 1 rail with maybe a touch of right English.
Yeah, I like that a lot better because he's always in line, and speed is so much easier to feel by going 1 rail.
And this is fine.
Very close to the object ball.
Yeah, he doesn't have the perfect angle, but being close to it allows him to come back pretty easily.
Yeah, he can hit it with a softer stroke, getting the maximum out of the draw, being closer to the ball. This is game number 3. Rempe's at the table preparing to take a 2-1 lead in the match.
Nicely done. Well, what a turn of events here. It could have been 2-0 Daulton and Shannon breaking the balls. Well, let's see a key rack, and a key shot in this rack.
Like we mentioned before, every rack has a key shot. Even though it appears like this is rather a routine one, it's still the key shot because of the position of the 5-ball. That was the ball to get good on.
Well, you brought it out, Billy, that exact point. That's a beautiful shot. If he gets straight in on the 5, he's got a problem.
Exactly. So therefore, anytime there's a ball that's positioned rather awkwardly on the table where it's kind of hard to get position on, that will be considered the key ball. Because if you can surmount that problem, then you shouldn't have any more problems for the remainder of the rack, providing that the balls are spread nicely over the table. Once again, Rempe going to the soft break, playing position for the 1. Notice how he played position for the 1. Pocketing a ball on the break. But notice, Grady, on the left side of the table, there are 3 balls there. The 2, I believe, the 4, and the 5.
Yeah, now here, he can either play to come back into the 2 and 5 or play for the bank shot. I kind of like to play the ball across side. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of like that as well, because the angle that he has on the 1 seems like it's rather flat, more so than a good angle to go into the 2. So therefore, he'd be better off playing position for the 2 cross-side. And if he doesn't get there, maybe some sort of a safety off the 2.
Well, it's possible to end up snookered if he goes into the ball. And there's no assurance that he'll get a shot, even if he makes the 1 and does go into him.
No, it looks like he's going into the balls the way he's addressing the shot. He's going into the balls. That's the way we address the shot. And I was wrong with the angle that I thought that he had. I thought that the angle that he had was a little awkward to do that with. But evidently I was wrong. He struck it perfectly. And he does have, Grady, a pocket here, but he doesn't have the luxury of hitting it that hard, does he?
No, but the 3 goes in the side. If he could draw the ball 6 or 8 inches, he'd be in pretty good shape. Not
much room for error on this shot. So therefore, if he strikes it hard, the pocket may not accept this shot. So therefore, he has a decision to make right here.
See, he's going to take a look and see how thin a cut is it if I stop the cue ball to come back an inch or so.
Had he had a larger pocket, then it would be no decision at all. He would just draw it back, knowing that the pocket would accept the shot.
If you've got left English on the 2 ball, it curves it a little bit. So touch of right English along with maybe a just below center ball makes the pocketing of the 2 ball a bit easier.
You know, I think that he's close enough to the 2-ball to put a good stroke on it and get it back, because I think he can hit it accurately enough considering the closest of the 2 balls.
And he doesn't have to hit it very hard to get drawn,
right,
because he's close to it.
Exactly. I think that he should go ahead and attempt to draw it back, playing position for the 3 on the side. And that's what he's done. Notice how easy he did that because of the closest of the 2 balls.
Yep, that was beautifully done.
Now the key shot here is from the 3 to the 4, Grady. You agree?
Yeah, now how do you play this? He's not going to play for the combination, I don't think. So he's going to take a look and see.
Considering the location of the 5 near that lower corner pocket makes his combination play a little more simple. So therefore, that becomes more of an option.
Well, if he's straight in or almost straight in, he might have to play the combination. I'd rather go below it.
Providing you have the angle off the 3. But I don't know if he does.
We'll know in a minute.
It looks like he may, because he's going on top with the cue ball, indicating that, hey, I'm going to go forward, trying to attain a shot below the 4. Which he's done. It looks like he's brushed it, and I don't know. He's not going to like his position. I don't think he has anything offensive to look for, but he's going to have to look for some sort of a safety.
The safety I like here, if I see it right, he can go behind the 5. He's not looking at that.
Well, that's pretty delicate. You know, why not just go up table, getting very little movement from the 4? The 5 blocks the pocket for the 4. You know, just leave your opponent alone. He's going to have a lot of problems just dealing with that situation. Now here, he may not be able to get him, behind the 5. He might, he sell out a shot. The other way, very difficult situation to deal with if you're up table without a shot. Now the 5 blocks the pocket. I like that better.
Well, I don't, but we'll see how he does it. Shannon's such a terrific banker and defensive player. I don't like letting him hit the shot. He can play a nice common sense safety and be the favorite, I believe.
So what Jimmy's trying to do is he's trying to keep the cue ball on the left side of the table and go up table at the same time, making the bank a little more difficult. If Shannon, I don't know if he's hit this hard enough to get a cushion, Grady.
No, he didn't.
But notice where the cue ball is in relation to the 4 ball. Had he hit the cushion, Shannon would have had that cross corner bank, the one you said that you wouldn't want to leave him. Well, yeah, right. So therefore, and that's why Jimmy wanted to put the cue ball on the left side of the table, but it didn't lay right for him to do that. In the meantime, he really blundered by giving Shannon ball in hand. And when you give an opponent the caliber of a Shannon Daulton ball in hand, he's going to run out 90% of the time.
Well, he got a bit unlucky in freezing up or almost freezing on that ball. I mean, he made a nice shot, in my opinion. I don't know that we have a key shot in this rack, unless we're going to show key shots that end up being disastrous. Then we have one.
Well, the key shot in that rack was actually going from the 3 to the 4, and that's the shot where he ended up frozen to the 4. Had he negotiated that particular shot well, fell on the 4, the right way, then he would have probably ran out, like Shannon did with ball in hand. But that's not what happened. He froze himself to the 4 and was forced to play safety, which he blundered on and put ball in hand Daulton and the rack.
Both of these guys are using the medium speed cut break. Not even a medium speed. I'd call it a slow medium speed.
And both the players are playing position for the 1. And I like to add, doing it quite well. That time, Daulton coming up dry on the break, Rempe at the table. He has the decision to make whether he would bank the 1 or cut it in the corner pocket. From my vantage point, Grady, I really can't see exactly which shot is better.
13.5 miles an hour. No, this is hard to see. I think he can elevate the cue like that and use some right English and just come down to play the combination the next shot on the 5 ball.
Okay, this shot here plays like, it looks like he's going to come in short here. That's the angle.
Well, the 8 ball's in the way of going 2 rails, and I certainly wouldn't want to risk hitting the 8.
He's going to have to hit this very accurately because the 8 ball is in the way here. He feels that the 8's in the way. And if he tries to lengthen it out too much, he may miss the 1. See, now look what he's doing with the tip of his cue stick. He's saying, I have to hit precisely right past the 8 to give myself a chance to fall nicely for the 2. He'll be going close to the 2 in the event that he misses the 8. Okay, he went real long, Grady. He went very long. And that's something he really didn't anticipate, and he didn't play it like that. He hit the 1 ball.
Well, sometimes when the cue ball's close to the rail and you have to elevate the cue, you'll get a thick hit like that you don't want.
Wow, he really went long on there, so therefore indicating that he mishit the 1 ball.
Well, no problem. We'll shoot the kick combination.
And he may have found the window here, Grady, for the 2 ball. Looks like he can shoot in between the 3 and the 5.
Sure does.
And play a shot and play the 2 ball safely. And the 3 and the 9 may be lined up as well.
Yep. He's looking right now.
If the 3 and the 9 aren't lined up, there are 2 key balls going from the 2 to the 3 and from the 3 to the 4.
I think he has to twist this a little bit to make the 2 ball. And fortunately for him, the left English he'll have to use won't interfere with the 3 ball, so he's fine here.
Now he's going to be forced to play the combination, and the 3 off the 9 is also a possibility as well.
Right. Now I play to overcut this kind of shot. It makes the making of the 3 ball, more beneficial, and it also gives me a better chance to make the combination.
Now notice, he's got a chance to play the combination and also the 3 off the 9. Both of those shots looks like they have a chance to go. Either one of them, I should say.
Yeah, I'd use it just below center ball. I wouldn't really try to draw this. Maybe a touch of right English.
That time the 3 went off the 9, and the 9 almost went as well.
He has no shot here, though. He can play safe. At least I don't believe the 4 passes the 6, but maybe it does. He's stepping up to the shot fairly quickly, so maybe it goes.
But he's in pretty good line to bank this.
That's what he's doing.
At least that's what he tried to do. Shannon Daulton now steps out of his chair like he did the preceding game with an opportunity at the table.
He wants to go 2 rails underneath the 7 here. And he doesn't want to be straight in on the 6 ball. He'd like to have an angle to either side a little bit.
That's exactly right. Either side will suffice.
This is continuing to roll.
Now this is an angle that may be a little too severe, too steep. So he may have to go twice cross table with a draw stroke here.
I think he'll kill this pretty nicely, but all right, he did go twice across, but he might not like this.
Well, the speed that he hit it with suggests to me that he's probably not going to like it. From my vantage point, he can pocket the 7 ball, Grady, but it's a long, lengthy, tough shot, so therefore he really has to stay solid over the table. And hit it very clean.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Well, that 6 ball shot was not easy for a left-handed player. Would have been much easier for a right-hander.
Oh, sure. Then a right-handed player would have been able to stroke it with much more accuracy.
Watch out here. Ooh. The new cloth, it'll drop down long and scratch sometimes.
Pocketing the 9. Daulton now edges ahead slightly, regains the 2.
Let's get some early ACCUSTATS averages, and this is getting interesting as we go along, as we at first suspected it would. We're at the Chesapeake Convention Center. Nice facility here, set up with 16 tables. Pay-per-view is going to film the finals on Sunday, and I, for one, am looking forward to that. All right, here we go. 923 for Daulton, 840 for Rempe.
And I think both players have been playing really well in this match. So, the 2 mistakes Rempe made was that safety error off to the 4 ball when he got frozen up on it, and that bank on the 4 ball cross-eyed in the last rack. Those two errors are kind of like, they're tough. But that cost him, a lot, not only on his total performance average, but also on the score of his match.
Now, Shannon made 2 balls on the break, Billy, but the 2 ball, the 1 ball was one of them. Now, I wouldn't want to make the 1 on the side if I'm using this break, unless the 2 ball is going to be in the middle of the table.
Is the 2 ball racked in the back of the rack each time?
Well, they had a discussion about that, and I don't know what they eventually decided, whether to rack the balls the same way every single time or to alternate it. I don't know what they finally figured out.
Well, considering the players are playing the 1 on the side, I think it's best if they rack the 2 behind all the time.
Well, Rempe's not playing the one on the side.
Well, a lot of the players are, so therefore make it more of a task for them to pocket the one on the side and play position for the ball, the two ball that's racked.
Well, where it was racked just now, the cut break with a slower medium speed, I think you need to go forward with the cue ball in order to get position like Corey does. Corey's really good at doing that.
Well, I think it's more of a challenge and more of a skilled shot to be able to do that. That's why I think the two balls should be racked in the same position every time. Okay, well, Rempe now has blundered again, scratching off the one, off the two.
Well, that was an unpleasant situation he just faced, my friend. I didn't think the billiard was on. There wasn't a decent safety. All right, he's in pretty good shape here. The four is next.
It doesn't appear that there's any problems out there, so therefore the key ball in this particular rack may be this one right here, getting from the 5 to the 6, and it really doesn't appear there's much of a problem in doing that. 7's hanging in front of the side, 8 very closely to the corner pocket. Shouldn't have any problems, Grady.
No. This is ideal to fall on the right side of the 7 ball.
And this is the kind of a rack you want to have for match rack to win the match with. It's something simple with no problems, but you don't have the luxury of that all the time.
He can just float down to the end rail here, gently, like this. Now he'll come out 2 rails, I believe. Just like that. And he's going to go ahead 4 games to 2. I'm surprised at the quickness with which Rempe shot that last shot he had. I think he would have been better advised to get up from it and rethink it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially since he scratched like he did. Let's take a look at the scratch when Jimmy addressed the table and see how quickly he shot the shot. Well, you know, it was a pretty unfortunate scratch. The 8 ball was blocking a portion of the pocket, but the cue ball found a way around the 8, and he ended up scratching. Pocketing the corner ball, Grady, playing position for the 1. It looks like, no, he's not going to get a shot. The 1 ball and the 2 ball have come together. The 2 ball not allowing the 1 to pass, but he does have a safety.
He's going to leave Rempe on top of the 2 ball. Now he made 2 balls on the break with that nice, gentle speed.
I like to follow the 1 ball and then reposition the cue ball behind the 2 in that fashion.
Yeah, I like to go to the rail and then up next to the 2 ball, like this.
Yes. Now, he left the 1 in what you consider a big ball position. Can you describe that to the people out there?
What Billy means by that is that if Jimmy decides to take a kick at this ball, he can make the 1 ball by hitting rail first or ball first.
Right, so therefore it's an easier shot to make, and that's why you labeled it as the big ball position, making it an easier ball to pocket.
And they use that term in 3-cushion billiards too. Lots of billiards actually are made in that fashion.
But if he can see the edge of the 1, then there's no need to kick.
Well, I don't know. If he thins it, does he hit it so thin he hits the 6 ball? He doesn't want to do that.
Well, he wants to hit it thickly enough to go around the 6, putting the 1 behind the 2, putting the cue ball on the other side of the 2.
Well, he could hit quite a bit of that ball.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him shoot it the way he did, considering that he could hit the ball. He could hit more of the ball than I thought he could hit. That was really surprising to me.
Now, these side pockets are small, Billy, and this is not the easiest shot in the world. We've seen a lot of these missed.
Yes, we have.
Now, he did it nicely there.
Couldn't have done it any better.
Now, he has to be careful of the 5 ball here. The 4 ball is just above the 9. Go ahead. Do you want to describe the difficulty
this
here?
is definitely the key shot. Getting from the 2 to the 4 it may appear simple, but it's not. He has to be careful of the 5, like Grady mentioned. This is the key shot in this rack. See, he hit the 5 ball, didn't get really where he wanted to get on the 4, but nevertheless, probably still be able to deal with it.
It's a tough shot. He may end up playing the combination here. If he doesn't play the combination, I like him using the same inside English shot he did a couple of racks ago. Looks like he's going to play the combo.
It must be laying really well for him to opt to play the combo here, Grady. He'll hit it. He's hitting with a low ball.
Nice shot, nice shot.
Yeah, he was quite comfortable in selecting the combination, obviously, as we can see. Game number 7 goes to Daulton, who now extends his lead by 3 games, Grady, in the match. 5 games to 2. And this match is starting to get away from Rempe.
Yeah, he needs to put 1 or 2 racks on his side of the scoreboard to narrow the gap a bit. I don't think he played for the combination, though. I think he played to run out, but the lie of the 4-ball was pretty tough.
Right. And that was the key shot, getting from the 2 to the 4. Like Grady mentioned, the 5-ball was a big ball. He has to be careful not to strike the 5. He wasn't able to clear the 5, but he did end up with a good combination.
Well, if he had hit below the 5-ball with the cue ball, he could end up snookered. If he went above it, you know, he might not be able to make the 4-ball. A lot of funny things could have happened there.
Now, he struck that break a little bit softer, and the cue ball got away from him, hitting the 1-ball more thickly.
Look at that, though, Billy. He made 2 balls on the break, and the 1-ball was not one of them.
But it certainly, well, very, very quickly, I can definitely see that the key shot in this rack is getting from the 3 to the 5. Now, the 3 is positioned here, the 5 is here, the 6 blocks the pocket for the 5. So how do you get from the 3 to the 5, somewhere in this area here with the cue ball? But it's going to be hard to get there because of the presence of the 7-ball. He's got some problems right here, Grady.
Yep, he sure does.
He may have to end up playing the combination 5-6.
Well, I'd try to get on a 3-ball where I could cut it in and go 1 rail back towards the 5 and either get below it or play it in the lower right-hand corner or play a good safety. I would want to make sure that I did not snooker myself, especially when I'm trailing a great player like Shannon Daulton by 3 full games.
But keep in mind here, the lead ball to the 5 is the 3. Now he's got pretty good on the 3, but notice that the 3 connects the combination. Have you over here?
Well, I like pulling underneath this 5-ball. I like going 1 and back in this range here.
I don't think he has the ability to do that.
Well, maybe not.
The angle's too steep. He's going to go cross table underneath the. Well, he's going to go into the. Oh, he could have a problem here.
Well, he's going to be able to hit it at least. Now, he can cut this ball in the corner with no English and go around the table, but that's a tough shot.
It looks like he's playing a safety, trying to put the cue ball on the 9 here.
All right, that's a nice shot. Now, I like going 2 rails, not 1 here. And I would hit it with some pace and give myself a chance to make it or get it safe or get distance between the 2 balls.
He's going to have to hit this with some pace. He's going to have to try to get lucky here. You know, some good things can happen for him here if he gives himself a chance. See how hard he hit it? He has to try to get lucky here. And some good things can happen, but not that time. Rempe back at the table with an opportunity that he can't afford to blunder with.
Well, he has to just stop the cue ball here, Billy. He's going to take a look and see, can I make the 6-ball if I do stop the cue ball?
That's a very noteworthy point that you brought out there, Grady. No reason to play position on the 6 when you have it, particularly if there's a lot of traffic around the ball you're playing position for. And notice the distance that he has from the 5 to the cue ball. He's better off just stopping the cue ball like Grady mentioned. And if he doesn't, he may end up finding himself behind the 9.
Good shot, good shot.
If he's confident that he can stay clear of the 9 and not allowing the 9 to interfere with the next shot, then that's the correct shot. He hit it very well.
Well, when I said stop it or bring it back a little bit. The main thing is you don't try to do anything cute.
Exactly. Excellent speed, as we can see.
I tell you, I like the way Rempe is breaking the balls better than Shannon. And I give Jimmy a nice chance to get back in this match here if he continues to break the balls and make 1 or 2 balls on the break and get position on the 1-ball.
Yeah, it's such a crucial shot, particularly if you're behind in the match, to have a good break to allow yourself to surmount the lead.
I like Jimmy's where he places the cue ball too, Billy. He's putting it more towards the middle of the table. And I think his accuracy on the 1-ball right now is a bit better, as evidenced possibly by Shannon just scratching on the break.
That's for sure.
When you're going to hit it as easy as these guys are, you sure don't want to scratch.
No, Shannon hit the 1-ball too thick and ended up drawing it a lot more than he felt that it was, and he ended up scratching. It wasn't no longer a cut break because he hit the 1 too thick.
See how far towards the middle Jimmy has it. Now he's just going to make a little half ball hit.
Now the 2 ball is racked in the back of the rack again here.
Well, he's not playing the 1, so he doesn't matter. Or it doesn't matter. He's not playing to make the 1.
Well, he actually hit it a little thicker than he wanted to as well, because that was the position of the
sure
2 ball.
Well, this one, I don't think it passes the 5, and even if it does, I don't think it's a good shot. Now he's got some safeties. 12.2 miles an hour. That's awfully easy.
It certainly is, and that's maybe one of the reasons why he wasn't able to control the cue ball as accurately as he has in the pass breaks. Because when you hit that soft, the draw is going to have more time to take effect, and you're going to end up further down the table.
He's going to bank the 1 back up to about where he is now. Only, okay, he's not going to. He's going to shoot it differently.
Well, Shannon's going to bank the 1.
Oh, absolutely. He's a terrific banker.
He certainly is. This is one of his best games, bank pool, 1 pocket, and also 9 ball. So he's going to definitely bank the 1 cross side. The 2 ball is going to be there for position, and he's actually executed that shot to near perfection. The 4 ball will be the next ball, which is in front of him. He should play cross table playing position for the 4 in the same pocket.
Now, also nice that now he has the advantage of being left-handed there. Well, he's not. What in the world did he do there?
Well, I don't understand that at all. I'm certainly sure he didn't plan that.
Now, he's giving a little smile there. He knows he should have done better than that.
You know, being so close to the 2 ball, he had the luxury of overcutting it using the inside English and making sure he got cross table for the 4 in the same pocket. That's what he was guilty of not doing.
Yeah, you're right. I thought he could have even followed down and played the 4 in the other pocket. What difference does it make if you bank like this?
Once again, that's a testimony to his great banking skills.
Now he has an angle where he can just go follow this ball, I believe.
And the 5 ball was the key ball in that particular rack for Shannon Daulton, which he fell on quite nicely after banking the shot on the 4. 6, 7, 8, and 9 lie rather routinely over the table. Shouldn't have any problems. Ready?
7 ball on the side. I'd just go forward a touch or even stop the balls, okay, just like that. He's going to follow it to the rail and come back out 6 or 8 inches or so like this. Good shot. And he's going to go 2 rails towards the 9 ball. 1, 2. And just like this, our tally is going to read 6 games to 3.
And it does. And it's always a good thing to develop skills, a lot of skills when you're playing pool. And the skill that Shannon Daulton developed so good was his banking skill. And his banking skill was what got him this particular game. He was able to bank 2 balls in that rack ready, the 1 cross side and the 4 right back underneath him. And that was a very, very crucial shot in banking the 4. Had he not pocketed that ball, Rempe would have been at the table breaking the balls in game number 10.
He just made a little mental lapse of a mistake, Billy, when he didn't get on that 4 ball. And then, or 5 ball, whatever it was. Then when he banked it the length of the table, that showed a lot of confidence.
Well, of course, it helped. He was left-handed. He could reach it more comfortably. Now that very soft break, playing the 1 on the side. Now that's the 2nd time in succession that he has scratched off the break, allowing Rempe at the table with the ball in hand.
Now, let's talk about something here, Billy. He did not get 2 balls past the side. That would have been a foul.
Well, it should be a foul because that's the way the rule reads.
Look at him. He made a ball, but nothing else went past the side. And the rule is 2 balls have to go past the side. So if Rempe had been alert, that would have been a foul anyway.
Right. Now the key shot here would be from the 4 to the 6, I would believe.
Look at that, 12.4 miles an hour.
I mean the 6 to the 7, I should say. I'm sorry. Yeah, he hit the break really softly. The 9 ball was blocking the pocket for the 7 in the lower left. So there, if he opts to play position for the run out and not the 7-9 combination, which I don't think is on, he's going to have to be very accurate with his position play from the 6 to the 7.
He's going to come up inside the 7 and 9. He changed his mind. He went over and looked. Well, how about if I go outside those 2 balls? But it was a little touchy, so he changed his mind.
If he, underneath the 7, the 6 is a better position to be. You don't want to be on top of the 6. You want to stay on this side of the table for the 6, which he's done. This allows him to come toward the 7 with the cue ball, playing position for the 7.
Yeah, after striking the 3rd rail.
Right. 1, 2. And after striking the 3rd rail, like Grady mentioned, he then goes toward the 7, which keeps him in line for the 7. That's why you wanted to stay underneath the 7 and not on top of it.
This is kind of interesting because I like the way Shannon is playing the game, but I think Rempe's breaking the balls better at this juncture.
Yeah, he has been. And, well, of course he's breaking the balls better. Shannon scratched the last 2 times he broke the balls. But really, he has been executing the break shot better than Shannon, beside the scratches.
Now, using the bridge, you like playing position for the side pocket here?
Well, that would be a little more simple, but I think Rempe's very adept at using the bridge. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go around 3 cushions.
Okay, good shot, good shot. Well, he's certainly still in the thick of this match, Billy.
He certainly is, and considering, you know, how well he's breaking the balls, gives him more of a chance to surmount this 6-4 lead now.
You know, I think seniors like us have an advantage being allowed to break gently like this because we can compete with the young guys break-wise. I mean, you and I have pretty good position skills and defensive capabilities. I mean, we could conceivably be pretty competitive breaking them that gently.
Yeah, well, that's a very noteworthy point there you brought up, Grady. The break has always been one of the most crucial and important shots in 9-ball because that opens up opportunities for the player.
Well, you and I never had power breaks at any point during our careers either, you know, like some of these guys do.
But since it's no longer needed the power for the break, that negates that area of the game where you don't have to have as much power, which enables older players to be a little more efficient. Now he's allowing that ball, the cue ball, that is to get away from him.
Well, that's another one struck a little too thickly, and by not cutting it, I don't think he's getting the proper action. He made no balls this time.
Now the shot that Shannon's confronted with here on the 1 is a difficult shot. Now he's elevating here because he had an option either to level his stroke or to elevate. He opted to elevate. Now when he elevates, he hits this particular shot as well as anyone. Not that time.
I think he's better than anybody in the world when he elevates the cue. As you mentioned, he did not succeed with it, that particular effort.
Okay, very quickly, the 3 ball is the key ball in this rack. The 8 ball blocks the pocket for the 3, so he might have to end up playing position for the 3-8 combination, and in doing so, he'll have to position the cue ball off the 2 around this area right here. And let's see how he negotiates this.
Well, he has the advantage of the 2 ball going in the side or the corner, so he has some options here as to how he'd like to place the cue ball.
Notice all the time he's taking on this shot. He wants to make sure he ends up with a good angle on the 2 to drop for either the combination or on the 3 in some other fashion.
Well, it's too bad the 3 doesn't pass the 9 and 6 because he's got an angle where he could float down for that, I believe.
I don't think he's really happy with the results of the position he's played on the 2 to drop for the 3.
Well, the 3 goes in the side if he gets perfect.
Yeah, but that's not easy to attain that angle 3 in the side. So he's got himself some work in front of him getting from the 2 to the 3. Now he's going to try to figure out whether or not the combination is the shot of choice, considering the position he has on the 2. He can pinch draw this possibly with a nice quick stroke.
Yeah, he could go below the 3 ball and play it in the right-hand side or the far right-hand corner. He's going to look at that now. But the 6 ball is a big problem for him if he decides to go any route of that nature.
If he cuts the 2 in the side and draws it, all you need is a flick of the wrist. You know, getting a quick backspin on the cue ball and allowing your cue tip to get away from the cue ball quickly. Getting maximum backspin. Let's see what he does.
He's going to use that stroke. Now, this is pretty interesting, aspiring players. Watch what Billy just described. It's like that. Now, I kind of like that. I knew he could get underneath it like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was an excellent choice, and it was a better executed shot than the choice because the execution of the shot was near perfect.
And again, his straight pool skills, I think, help him in a situation of that nature.
Yeah, that definitely was a world-class shot that he executed there.
Now he's got a nice angle to go 2 rails around the 7, being careful not to end up behind the 6 ball.
Exactly. A lot of traffic down this end of the table. And like Grady said, he's going to go 2 cushions. Now, he's hooked here, and he's also hooked here. He has to land somewhere here. So therefore, speed becomes very crucial on this shot. He's better off playing it short. As short as he can play it.
Sure.
Playing it short. Notice how playing it short, if he strikes here, he's always in line. Boom, now he's always in line. Any deeper would have sent him over here.
Very nice shot. And he has a perfect angle to stay below the 6, just like that. Now a little right English, and he can go down towards the 7 ball after he contacts the rail. And just anywhere in the middle of the table is fine here. Good shot, good shot. Doesn't want to be straight in, of course. He may have to draw this. He sure didn't mean to get straight in. Good shot.
And that's exactly what he was, straight in. Notice how far the cue ball is from the 8. He wanted to get closer to the 8, but considering the angle that he had on the, I believe it was the 6, he wasn't able to get closer to the 8, so he just took what the table gave him and he handled it well. This is game number 11, Grady, and this match is starting to get pretty interesting.
Very interesting. I'd like to see the key shot in this rack and perhaps some averages to boot.
Well, the key shot obviously was getting on the 3. You know, when the 3 was close to the 8 when he was positioned on the 2. You thought that he could do that. He did it as well as anyone could have done it, and that's what gave him that particular game.
I loved what he did there, Billy. That 3 ball would have gone in the side or the corner, as I mentioned, and he found the, you know, the path of least resistance, which is what you're striving for. And he stroked it nice and smoothly. 833 Rempe, 902 Daulton. All right, let's see if he can hit it a little thinner, the 1 ball. He's been contacting it a bit too thickly. That's better.
Pocketing the 1 on the side, and he's going to end up with a shot on the 2, Grady. The 3 ball's positioned on the bottom cushion, and where the cue ball is, it looks like it's a possibility of he's going to have to stay. He's going to have to stay high here for position.
Yeah, I just stopped the ball pretty much here, or come off the rail a little bit.
Yeah, he can't afford to drift down table because of the presence of the 5 ball here. So he's going to have to stay high. Notice, but from the 3 to the 4 is the key shot in this rack. From the 3 to the 4, that's the key shot right here, the 4. Getting from the 3 to the 4.
Yeah, pretty much stopping the ball will be perfect here. I mean, he's not really stopping it. It'll hit the rail and bounce off a little bit. Like
Exactly.
that. Nice shot, nice
Okay,
shot.
this is the key shot here, Grady, and I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Yeah, now do you like going inside or outside the 7 ball?
I don't know. He's like I said, since he had to shoot the last shot in the fashion that he did, creates a little bit more of a problem for him on going from the 3 to the 4. This is a very hairy shot right here. It's very difficult from my vantage point to tell which English will serve him better.
Well, I like going between the 9 and 7. And that way he obtains an angle to get from the 4 to the 5. If he tries to spin this in, he could miss a 3 ball.
But he does have the luxury of shooting the 3 off the 6 in the event that he hits it poorly. Because the 6 is laying really nicely for him to aid him in
He's
the
looking
shot.
at this right now.
But your thought here by going in between the 9 and the 7 is a very good one because it lays almost natural and your ball percentage goes up, your making percentage goes way up shooting it in this fashion.
Yeah, he can hit this nice and easy.
See, by doing it this way, your make percentage goes way up. No, he's going to be okay. See, he actually wanted the 9 to impede the progress of the cue ball shooting it in that fashion, and it did, but he hit it a little on the side. No, he didn't want to hit it on the side, but nevertheless, still did a fine job.
Now he's perfect here. He can draw this back about a foot, and he'll pocket the 5 ball, sending the cue ball between the 7 and 9 balls. This is perfect.
That's what he's done. So the remaining balls on the table shouldn't present any type of a problem for a player of the caliber of Jim Rempe, providing that he stays focused and stays with that strong concentration that he's had throughout this match.
Well, I don't like bringing this over on the side rail. I like doing, well, that's what he's going to do. Because now he's got to go 2 rails around the 9 ball.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. You know, he's gonna go towards some traffic in the 8 and the 9. And if he happens to hit the 8 too thickly here, he's going to end up out of line on the 7. He's going to have to play pinpoint or field goal position by putting the cue ball between the 8 and the 9 and hit it with good speed as well. And looks like he's come up a little bit short.
Well, he's probably going to execute it correctly, but if he stays on the other side of the 6, it's an easy position shot.
Right. I like your method of playing position for the 6 to the 7 better than I did his. But, of course, it's hard to disagree with a Hall of Famer, and I'm not going to try to. He's going to have to be careful here that he's gotten pretty close to the 8. He's going to have to play it in the corner, it looks like here. And he may have to play position for the 9 in the side.
Yeah. I like using just the slightest little bit of left English. Elevate the cue like this. Just a little punch or nip stroke like that. Good shot.
Widening the pocket for the 8.
But he got in a little trouble there. I mean, he might have not gotten out.
Yeah, it all stemmed from his decision on how he played position on the 6. And that's where it stemmed from, you know. And I really agree with Grady that he should have used the other angle off of that ball to play position for the 7.
At any rate, we're probably going to be knotted up at 6 games each.
And we are. So this match has once again come to a level playing field. Both players with the same amount of beads. 6 beads for Grady. Excuse me, not for Grady. You're playing it in the booth. 6 beads for Rempe. 6 beads for Daulton. Well, that's one of the reasons why 9-ball is such a fascinating game, Grady. There's so many options that are available to us, and it's just a matter of preference in a lot of instances, which option that we choose. At that time, Rempe chose to play the 6 in a different fashion than you or I would have. He ran into a little problem, but being the resilient player that he is, he was able to handle it.
Well, being able to adjust and adapt, that's a big part of being a championship 9-ball player, too. And he, of course, is one of the best in that department.
3-ball in the corner pocket. Now he's played nice position on the 1.
That crisscross position on the 1. I love that.
Yeah, that was pitcher perfect there. That was what you call pitcher perfect. Pocketing a ball in the break, playing position on the 1, and that's what Grady said. That lead that he was that deficit that he was faced with earlier in the match was easy to surmount because of his ability to break the ball.
Let's talk about something else real quickly, Billy. The thinner he hits the 1 ball, or the less he hits of the object ball, the further away from the side pocket it is. So really with his break, he doesn't want to make the 1 on the side.
No, he doesn't. He wants to make another ball and play position on the 1. So therefore, if he's productive of making another ball, then there's no question at all.
Now look
Playing
at this shot here. I like going around the 6 ball here. The 4 goes in the left-hand side pocket or the lower left-hand corner pocket. I like using some left English, so he's just going to play position. Oh, if it passes the 6, this is fine. But did he hit it too easy? Boy, what an optical illusion. From here, it doesn't look like it passes.
It passes, so therefore, what he needs to do now is just cinch the 4 ball, draw back an inch or so, if he can, playing position for the 5 in the upper right-hand corner. The closest of both the cue ball and the 4 ball may suggest to him that that's probably the best thing he can do. Just cinch it and take what the table gives you. If you try to draw back for the 5 on the side, I think he's making a mistake. But he's too experienced of a player to do that, particularly when he's using the bridge, which is going to really limit him to what he can do with the cue ball. He just cinch the 4 ball, take the shot on the 5 up the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick stroke here. Oh, so he says a quick stroke. You have to use a quick stroke here to get that Q-tip out of the way, making sure you don't foul the ball. And he really needs a quick stroke. That's why sometimes when you get up in age, it's hard to see the cue ball, with your Q-tip, and that's what happens.
Have you ever done, like I have a few times in my career, hit a shot like that and the cue ball only moves like a quarter of an inch, like playing one pocket especially?
Yeah.
You feel like such a fool, you know?
Yeah, you lose a lot of dignity when that happens. You look at yourself and you feel worse than what had happened.
Yeah.
You know, actually, the way you feel is actually worse than what you've just done.
Now he'll come back between the 9 and 7 balls here, not very hard for position.
Yeah, he probably would like to hit the 9, but even if he doesn't, he'll still end up with a shot on the 6.
This is a just below center ball, maybe a touch of right English.
Maybe he'll go back to the 9 because that's the way it appears that the angle that he has suggests. Yes, he's going in the back of the 9. Now he doesn't want to hit the 9. Well, the balls are laying really nicely here for him.
Yeah, he can either pull it back just a little bit if he's straight in and be fine.
Yeah, all the work in that rack is already taken care of. The remainder of the rack seems rather routine, once again, providing that he stays focused.
Now I like cutting this in the side with right English, going down to the end rail and back up a couple of feet. Just like this. And this is fine. He can go 3 rails. I like playing position for the same side pocket for the 9 ball.
Yeah, it looks like that playing position for the corner, he's going to be hitting too high off the 3rd rail. It looks like playing position for the side is better from this angle. Okay, he had a different type of an angle than what both you and I saw, so he played position for the corner. Now, Rempe has really been playing well. He broke and ran out, and he broke it, and he ran out from Daulton's break. So therefore, I think that's three consecutive racks that he's run all the balls.
Yeah, 27 shots in a row, and we've talked about this before. That will get you in stroke, and his averages have probably been beefed up considerably. We'll take a look at them in a moment. Rempe carries that bridgehead with him, and I think that's a good idea. 902 Daulton, 875 Rempe.
And you were right again. Rempe is starting to creep up there in terms of total performance average. He was shooting like a low 800s. Now he's in the very high 800s, which is very, very respectable over world-class speed. And I might add that he's played very well in this match.
Let's look at this little crisscross position play of his for the position on the 1 ball. Well, he hit above the side pocket with the 1 that time and didn't make anything.
No, he didn't. And right away, the key shot is from the 1 to the 2, Grady.
I don't even know if the 1 passes the 6, does it?
I believe he has enough room past the 6 to pocket the 1 ball. The 2 ball laying adjacent to the 1 on the other side of the table. He's going to have to use a draw stroke. The 6 does block a portion of the pocket. So therefore, this ball has to be hit very accurately. And
he has to go into the 9 or the 2 ball with the cue ball, I believe. You're right. I think he has to draw it.
He's going to go into the 9, it looks like here, because, or he's going to go with a higher ball, which will increase the accuracy of the shot.
Of a certainty, we'll see that elevated stroke of his if he decides to play this in the far left-hand corner. And it's a thing of beauty when he's on with it.
It looks like this is almost shooting the 9 here, the way the balls are lying, with the exception of going from the 6 to the 7, possibly.
Look at that.
That's really beautiful.
Know how hard that is to do.
It's very difficult to do, you know. And that was such a crucial shot in this rack.
Now he'll go up and play the 4 ball in the far right-hand corner, just 1 rail like this.
He'll play position for the 5 in the same pocket. Now he has to make sure that he pockets this ball. Doesn't take anything for granted here. This is not an easy shot. Excellent speed of the cue ball, Grady.
Yes, beautifully done.
Now the 6 is laying very, very nicely for position for the 7. He can play for position for the 7 in the upper left-hand corner, considering the position of the 8 so close to the corner pocket. But he has to make sure he really doesn't get straight in on the 7, playing position off of the 6 to the 7.
I don't think he wants to be straight in on the 6 ball. That's exactly right. I wouldn't want to be exactly straight in on the 7 ball either, because You either have to shoot the cue ball below or above the 9 ball when you make the 8.
He doesn't want to end up over here because he'll have the wrong angle. He would rather end up over here somewhere because he wants to favor this side of the 6 ball opposed to this side of the 6 ball since the 7 is positioned here.
I don't think he has that, though. I don't think he has that luxury. Let's see.
See, he wants to end up, that's pretty good right there. See, he ended up on the inside of the 6 ball, if you can call that the inside, because after striking the 6, then he'll go toward the 7. Like so.
Yep.
And that's ideal. Perfect execution there, Grady. Notice the difference.
This is perfect because he can just float the cue ball out to his right.
Right.
And stay above the 9 ball.
And this shot is easier to view if you're the player shooting it, staying on the inside of the 7, opposed to the outside of the 7.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Outside of it, you see a lot of those missed.
And you hit the point a lot.
And you hit the point.
This way, it's an easier shot to hit because you can see it much more clearly. Daulton at the table looking to tie up this match once again, with the score being Daulton 7, Rempe 7, providing that he pockets the 9.
Oof. He's okay here. I'm not sure he meant to get exactly like this.
I don't think he did. His position play is starting to get a little suspect at times now, you know. But nevertheless, he was able to put the 9 down. This match is tied up at 7 games apiece. This has been really an exceptional match here. I thought there's been a lot of good pool in this match.
Oh, there sure has. No question about it.
We're going to take a look at the key shot in this rack, and Grady will describe the difficulty in this particular shot.
Well, it's hard for me to do because superlatives run out for me describing this talent here. This is so hard to do. When I told you earlier I think he's the best in the world at this, it wins him a lot of 9-ball games and a lot of one-pocket games.
And a lot of any kind of games. When you can elevate in pocket balls with the consistency that he does, then you're going to be a very difficult player to beat, as Rempe can feel right now, tied up 7 games apiece. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. The score being 7 games apiece. Shannon Daulton at the table preparing to open up the balls in the 15th game. We've seen some pretty good pool here, Grady. It's been a very close, sharply contested match by both players, and the score is an indication of that. Now, that's the 3rd time Daulton scratched off the break, Brady.
Yeah, if he does ultimately lose this match, that's certainly an area of weakness that he could look back upon.
Okay, now here's the key to this rack, Grady. It's getting from the 2 to the 3 to the 4. So there's 2 key shots, from the 2 to the 3, from the 3 to the 4, providing he doesn't play position for the 2-9 combination, which definitely is an option, considering the position of the 3 and the 4.
All valid points. We'll see what he decides to do.
And whatever he decides to do figures to be the correct way of dealing with the situation, because he's got a lot of experience, and rarely does he make a mistake in judgment.
You know, that 3 ball is laying in such a fashion that if you don't get perfect on it, you can't hit it with any speed. You know, because the 7 ball blocks just a bit of the pocket. And with these toughened up pockets anyway, I think the 2-9 combination would be the intelligent play myself.
Okay, I agree with that. Now, if he plays position for the runout, the ideal place for him to get on the 3 is right here. That gives him the ability to pocket the 3 and then nice and naturally come across table for the 4. So therefore, the key shot is from the 2 to the 3, attaining an angle on the 3 to stop the cue ball somewhere in this area right here.
Now look how he's doing this with follow. I like this. It's impossible for him not to get a decent shot at the combination. And this is perfect. Just about perfect. You couldn't place it with your hand much better.
He wasn't comfortable playing position for the runout, particularly since the 7 ball blocked a portion of the pocket for the 3. So he opted to play position for the combination, and something that I can really say that I really can't argue with him here, because this is something that I would have done as well.
I'd use just a nice medium speed here. You don't really need any English, maybe a just below center ball. Nice shot, 8-7, Rempe.
And like I said, if Rempe decides to shoot this one way or the other, I'm not going to argue with him, because he's a man with plenty of experience and very rarely makes a mistake in judgment. Game number 15 goes to Rempe. He now leads in this match, Grady. I don't know if he's ever led in this match, but he certainly has to lead now, 8 games to 7.
He saw all the same things we did and more quickly. You know, I always loved Rempe's straight pool patterns too. I always thought that he played the insurance ball mindset better than anybody. I just love the way he threads his way through the straight pool ranks.
The insurance ball, he probably did play as well as anyone because he's a very careful person.
Oh, sure, sure.
Making the 1 on the side that time. Looks like he's come up with a nice shot on the 2 as well here, Grady.
Now for that 2 to end up on the far end rail, it could not have been racked behind the 9 ball.
So very quickly in this rack, the key shot is getting from the 2 to the 3. All other balls on the table seem to be laying rather nicely for him. The first shot, the 2 to the 3, pocketing the 2, coming up with a shot on the 3 is probably where the work is in this rack.
I'd try to go 2 rails here. I might try to go between the 3 and 9. Of course, he can't reach it, it would seem. I don't know. It doesn't lay naturally to just kill this.
A lot of indecision out there, and more so a lot of problems getting the right bridge. And well, he looked like he's going for the bridge once again. You really have to have a lot of confidence in your ability to shoot with the bridge in order to shoot with the bridge on this particular shot. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's going to shoot with the bridge on this shot. And this is a very difficult shot to execute, particularly with the bridge.
Well, I like to take the bridge and put it up on my shoulder, the bridge handle, if I'm going to shoot this shot the way I think he's going to. I want this bridge elevated, not flat.
Well, he's leveling off here, which will give him a better chance of pocketing the ball. There's a pesky fly out there that's been bothering these people for a while. I think
yeah, all week long it has. I'd use slightest little bit of left English, play the overcut of the hair, and I'd try to go 2 rails.
He's going to go toward the 3 here.
Right, exactly, but I'd try to go up and down just a little bit.
So he's going toward the 3. If he hits it okay, if he passes it, kind of okay as well. But still, he's got a little more difficult shot. This shot carries a lot more distance to it. But since the cue ball was fairly close to the 3, he should have hit it reasonably well.
Now the difference here is that I think Jimmy won't elevate here. Well, he's going to, okay. All he really has to do is make the 3 here. He'll have position on the 5 ball.
Well, that particular elevation wasn't one that was going to hurt you that much because you're staying low over the ball.
Now he'll pull the cue ball out about in the middle of the table, I believe, here, and then he'll plan to shoot the 6 ball in and go 1 rail. Let's see where he's looking there.
You want to stay to the right of the middle of the table because you don't really want to have to cut the 6 too much because of the position of the 7.
He just wants to make sure he can hit the 6.
He may be better off just drawing it to the other rail and back across table. Like so.
Yeah, nice call and excellently perpetrated.
See, it was crucial for him to get the right angle on the 6 considering the position of the 7. 7 on the same side of the table that the 6 was on. And if he got too thin on the 6, then attaining a shot on the 7 would then become a problem. Well, he certainly remedied that there, Grady.
He looks like he's drawing this too.
He might be forcing it. 1 cushion maybe. No, he's drawing this. This is something that he's going to have to hit with accuracy. And he couldn't have done it any better than that.
No, that was absolutely beautiful. Now position for the 8 in the side pocket. And he'll have a perfect angle to get quality position on the 9 ball.
Well, I'll tell you, Rempe at one time trailing by 2, or I think maybe by 3 games in this match at one time.
5-2, wasn't it?
Well, by 2 for sure. It may have been 3 at one time.
No,
I'm not sure.
I said 5-2, I think.
5-2, okay, yeah.
Wasn't that the score? I believe it was.
I think so. But since then, you know, he's been playing excellent. Now he may have a 2-game lead in this match. And it all stemmed from his ability, like you noticed, in breaking the balls.
Well, 3 ball in hands off of Shannon's break. I mean, that's an unexpected boon. That's something you don't normally expect to get.
No. Well, he's fallen a little bit short on the 9 here. The make percentage on this shot should be about 95 or 6 or 7%.
Just has to be careful of the cross corner scratch. He doesn't want to hit it hard enough to scratch, or at least hit it hard enough with the right English to come in and score it. Nicely done. Well, I don't know about you, my friend, but every match that I played in my whole career, if I scratched 3 or more times on the break in a set of 9-ball against a champion, I lost.
Well,
I don't remember winning any of them.
Well, I'd agree with that. I don't think that you should win a match scratching 3 times. Particularly when you play a player the caliber of Jim Rempe, how can you expect to win? And Shannon Daulton at one time in the match was ahead by 3 games. Now he's looking at a 2-game deficit at 9 games to 7.
Well, these things being said, Shannon has the talent to run out the set if he gets a good shot.
Well, he certainly does. Had he not scratched on the break, he probably would have been able to maintain that 2 to 3 game edge. But that's not the case.
All right, Daulton shooting 902, Rempe 892.
See, Daulton's execution when he doesn't scratch off the breaks has been superb. He's still shooting well above world-class speed, 902, with the 3 scratches on the break. Rempe very quickly goes to the table, breaks the balls, pocketing the 1 on the side, and plus another ball.
Now, the problem he has here, Bill, is the 4-ball, which is right about the area of the spot. Here's the 4-ball. Now, if he makes the 2 here and comes around like this, he has to get right in here is the only place that he could play the 4-ball in the same pocket. But I don't see anything that looks any better.
I think he's forced to shoot the shot you described. Speed becomes very crucial on this shot, Grady, like you mentioned. The speed of the cue ball, this is definitely the key shot in this rack. Speed of the cue ball is very crucial.
I would say to myself, make sure you don't snooker yourself. So if I make a mistake, I'd rather hit it a little firmer than too gently.
Now, I noticed that he's gone to this side of the table to take a look at the 4 from the angle that he went to. I don't agree with that. I think playing position for the same pocket is probably the best shot. Speed is very important. Maybe that's why he's deterred by that.
Well, you're going to make the 2-ball if you play position for the same pocket almost every time.
Now, it looks like he may be going deep into the corner, going 2 cushions toward the 7. I don't think that's available. I don't think that shot's on. I think he's forced to play the shot you described, Grady.
We'll know in a minute.
Now he's going 2 cushions again. He wants to go toward the 7 off the 2nd cushion. I don't think the angle is there. 1, 2. Now, see, the angle wasn't there for him to do that because he missed the 7.
No, that was a great call on your part. Maybe if it's an older cloth, it comes out of there short. But on a new cloth, no way does it come that short.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him opt to play that particular shot and not the shot you described. The shot you described was a tough shot, but, you know, in spite of that, that was the correct shot.
But it wasn't all that tough. Now, he can hit his left side of the 4-ball, but I'm not so sure he wouldn't be better off to kick at this. That's what he's going to decide to do. And again, I'd put some speed on this.
Yeah, he's going to have to try to get fortunate here. And by hitting it with more speed will give him a better chance of getting lucky. That time he really didn't get lucky. He does lead in the match still 9 games to 7, even though he hasn't pushed the 9th beat over on his side.
He makes Shannon come with a hard shot here, though, Billy. Do you elevate here, or do you try to hit this with a nice high ball and go 2 rails around the 9 for position on the 5-ball?
That's what I would try to do. But the problem here, Grady, is the way I see the angle, he may have to go into the 9 if he levels off with his stroke. So watch out for the 9 here.
I thought it laid okay to go around.
It laid much better than I thought it may have laid.
I tell you what, that's a mighty smooth stroke in a pressure situation for Shannon Daulton.
Yeah, Daulton's a very, very good shot maker.
Well, this looks a little touchy to me.
Yeah, he's fallen a little short of the mark. He actually won another revolution or 2 from the cue ball. He's going to probably elevate and dig down underneath the cue ball a little bit.
Yeah, but where's the cue ball go? It's a little bit too thin a cut to just punch it out.
Now
and
he's
going down to the end rail.
Now he's going down to the end rail. Now the 9 comes into play again. See, he has 2 options here, the way I see it. He can either elevate, drawing the cue ball somewhere in the area of where the 9 is, or above the 9, obviously, or he can go with a flat ball going around the 9 or even in front of the 9. This shot, the execution is a little more difficult, so watch out for the 9, which he did very nicely, and he's repositioned the cue ball just at about an ideal position for the 7.
That was a beautiful shot. Tough shot.
Well, tough players execute tough shots well, and that was an indication of that.
Well, these guys have such sensitivity in their arms and their hands and even their minds. That shot, if he drew the ball, he couldn't get position, and he had to be careful not to hit whatever ball that was, a 7 ball, I think it was. At any rate, our score is 9 games to 8 Rempe.
Yeah, that's right. And both of these players have played extremely well, in my opinion, in this particular match. With the exception of the fouls on the break by Shannon Daulton, he's played extremely well.
Let us see how he decides to break the ball. I would certainly make sure I didn't scratch. At this juncture, it'll probably cost him the match for sure.
Well, one thing is that if he breaks the balls and scratches and goes on to win this match, he'll probably set a record of scratching 4 times on the break and still winning the match against a quality player. I've never seen a player scratch 4 times on the break against a quality player and win a match.
No, I have not either.
It's probably happened, but I've never seen it. And if it happens here, he'll at least set a record for the games I've witnessed. Well, he really let up on the break there. He said, "I'm not going to scratch this time."
Well, he made one.
He made more than one.
That's borderline. He made 2. Yeah, okay. And I'd like to see the speed of that break. I bet that can't be more than 12 miles an hour.
No, I highly doubt that. And it looks like the ball's on the table or positioned quite nicely for Daulton. And in just a short moment, this match is going to be tied up at 9 games apiece.
He'll be careful with the 6 ball. If he plays position for the side, he wants to get straight in.
And if he plays for the corner, he wants to stay on top of the 6. Because of the position of the 7, he wants to make sure he has the angle off the 6 to get to the 7 comfortably.
This is perfect. I preferred the corner just for this reason. He doesn't have to deal with the 9 in any fashion.
No. Position with the cue ball over here will suffice, and that's exactly what he'll try to get. Watch out for the 8.
Hey, he's fine here. And he can just float this in the pocket, come out 1 rail, and even stay below the 8.
Yeah, we can spend a lot of time trying to decide the many ways you could play this particular simple run out. But obviously he can do one of many things. And with the pocketing of the 8 and then the 9, once again, Grady, this match will be tied up. But this time it'll be a little closer match because it's a little shorter match. Now we're going to be playing 2 out of 3 to see who wins the match.
And I would also like to get some new numbers. Pretty interesting, I suspect.
And for those people out here that have watched this match, they have been thoroughly entertained, as we have.
Oh, it's been a very well-played match, I think. Championship 9 ball in its finest hour here in Chesapeake, which we've become rather accustomed to. And every year it just seems to get better and better. All the magazines are here covering this star-studded affair. Here we go, 886 and 920 for Daulton.
And keep in mind, Daulton scratched 3 times on the break and still was able to maintain a high 920 average for this match. Therefore, that's certainly an indication of how well he's been playing.
Sure. We're told that Daulton has only had 6 errors, and half of those, 3 of them, were errors on the break. Now, he made 2 balls on the break, Billy. Now, you know what he's done here? He lessened his speed on the break, cut it a little more, and look at these results.
You know, I was thinking of the same thing. I was thinking to myself, you know, he went to school watching Rempe break the balls. He made the necessary adjustment, and now the breaking area has now been negated. The edge that Rempe had in the break is now no edge at all because of Daulton's ability to make the adjustment.
12.6 miles an hour. Now he's gonna, what's he looking at? Is he having to play this in the side? I guess he is. Well, he's all right here. He just comes back 1 rail with a touch of right English. Oh, he's not all right necessarily if he hits that.
Well, he was very fortunate to move the 6 from the position on the table that it was at, because had he not moved the 6, playing position for the 6 from the 5 to the 6 would have been much more difficult. Excuse me, I thought he was shooting the 5. These different colors have got me kind of like in a stupor here. This is the 5 he's shooting now, so therefore I stand corrected.
I still make an occasional mistake. I'm not quite used to the new colors either. I'm going to buy me a set of these balls, though, so that I can practice and be used to them. If the 7 passes the 9, this game is another bit of pocket billiard history and trivia, probably. Oh, watch out.
Well, once again, a little closer to his work than he wanted to get. It's workable, but something that he really didn't anticipate. He wanted a much simpler shot than this.
He's going to play it in the side. Nice, easy speed.
And you know how small these side pockets are, Grady. Not that time. But in the meantime, Daulton now edges ahead once again in the match, with the score being 10 games for Daulton, finding himself on the hill, 9 games for Rempe.
I'll tell you, the way he's broken them the last 2 games, I mean, if I'm Rempe, I'm about to despair that I might not get another shot. It might be all over. Well, Jimmy did that to Shannon earlier in the match. We were informed by our wonderful statistician that Jimmy had run out from Shannon's break and then strung 2 racks of his own together. Shannon's now returning the favor, it would seem.
Yeah, we've seen, in my opinion, one of the best played matches in quite some time, because both of these players have really responded to the challenge. You know, whenever they fell behind, they had the ability to come back and get back into the lead again. That's happened 2 or 3 times in this match. And both of these players have showed excellent execution on the table. Pocketing the corner ball and the 1 almost in the side. He's going to end up with a shot on the 1, the 2 ball at the other end of the table. Very quickly, I can see that the 1 to the 2 may be the key shot in this rack.
Well, this is easy. He's got all he has to do is make it. He's got a slight angle on the 1, which brings the cue ball back on the proper side of the 2 ball, but he didn't make it.
He may, wait, don't speak so quickly. He may have, well, no, he didn't make it.
Well, this is one of my problems with 9 balls. See, in my tournaments with my rules, you could make the guy shoot again here. Now Rempe's a big underdog. He's going to have to hit 1 rail here, and there's no finesse to this, I don't think, but I'd try to thin it and go back down the table with the cue ball.
I think that maybe he would fare better.
Well, he can hit it. Now, he's got a better chance if he can hit it.
We could get the telestrator. If he hit the 1 into the 6,
right,
going 2 cushioned, that would impede the progress of the, well, no, he hit it too thickly.
Well, Shannon has a bank here, but these aren't hangers. The cue ball is frozen or nearly so, and sometimes you misjudge the degree of thickness or the speed or the English. This is eminently missable.
But it's like a free bank, you know?
No, that's not the way he hit it.
Well, provided that you hit it with the correct speed.
Okay, all right, it is there. Well, now if I'm Jimmy, I'm delighted that now I at least finally maybe have a reasonable chance to win. But now, what do you do with this? Do you try to thin it again on the right side?
Well, from my vantage point, Grady, I really can't make the determination on how much of the 1 ball he can see.
Well, if he can see any of it, he certainly will be able to see his right side of it. But
okay,
the last time he hit it way too thick.
Okay, what I would do, I would bank the 1 up here and put emphasis on the 1 ball.
Well, if he could hit that much of it, yes.
I would put emphasis on the 1 ball on this shot, control the 1 ball opposed to the cue ball. If he can control the 1 ball, the cue ball figures to end up somewhere in this area here. If you can control the 1 ball, the cue ball figures to end up somewhere in this area here.
Yeah, he has some things to get the cue ball behind. Oh, that's a nice view on the monitor. Look at that angle.
See, in this type of a situation, you have to make certain that you control the 1 ball, because you want another opportunity back at the table. Even if you allow him to see the 1, you want to make sure it's going to be a long, lengthy, difficult shot. It looks like he's crossing it, Grady. I don't know if I agree with this.
I don't think he's crossing it.
See, he was supposed to control the 1 there, Grady, and that's what he didn't do. And that's one of the reasons why it was so important to control the 1 ball in that situation, because your opponent's on the hill. You have to come back to the table, and then the best way of doing that is controlling the 1 ball.
Now look at this. This is a tough shot. He can't just automatically stick him behind a 9. He can elevate the cue here and cut the 1 a little to his right, but he can't get it close to the 9 ball. So Jimmy's going to have some kind of reasonable kick. He might be able to even shoot straight at this. I believe he can shoot at this, don't you? Well,
he may be able to, and if he is able to hit the 1 directly, he's quite fortunate, because I thought he made a grave error the last time he was at the table, and he really doesn't make any judgment errors, but at that time I thought that he did by not controlling the 1.
Well, I don't even know what he was trying to do with that as hard as he hit it.
He was trying to control the cue ball in hopes that the 1 would hit the 2 or something, get down the table and stop the progress of it. But hitting with that speed, carrying that distance, was difficult to control the 1. That's why I said control the speed of the 1 and chances are you would get behind one of the balls with the cue ball as well. So
This
therefore, you
is
had
a
a lot
tough
going
shot.
for you.
This is a tough shot. I see a safety here that I like. Banking the one back up between the 4 and 9, and you use a high ball, and you don't hit it too hard, and you send the cue ball into the 2 ball.
Okay, that's a good shot, but I see one problem perhaps with that shot. There's a chance that he can follow around that 2 ball with the cue ball and scratch.
Well, that's why I would make sure that I hit it the right speed with a nice high ball. But he's doing something else here. He might be banking the one straight back.
He's actually trying to send the cue ball somewhere in this area here, utilizing the 8 as a possible interfering ball.
You know, I like this. This gives him a chance to win. Why not bank this straight back? No, he didn't do it. He shot my shot. Okay.
Oh, he wants to get behind the pink 4 ball.
Well, that's what I said. I'd try to bank it right between the 4 and 9. And he went through the ball nicely.
He certainly did. It took away the scratch possibility altogether by going through the ball. Daulton at the table with very little that he can do here. He's going to be very lucky to walk away from the table in decent shape. Well, I'll tell you, from the distance he was from the 1, that hit was very difficult. And he executed that shot to perfection.
Now he's got Jimmy in a lot of trouble.
He certainly does.
He doesn't have room to go to the left side of the 1 ball and into it. And then the right side, the 7 ball blocks everything. I believe I'd masse this and try to go to rail first and maybe make it. I mean, that's the only reasonable shot that I see. Do you see anything I don't?
I sure don't. And this shot is not an easy shot by any means, but it's a shot that he must execute because it's so crucial right now. Without proper execution on this shot, it's just curtains for Rempe. So therefore, this is definitely a necessity that he executes this shot very well, and it's not an easy shot to execute.
Nice medium speed, dig down into the left side of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, he deserves to pocket that ball as well as he hit it. I don't think he's going to get rewarded for the effort. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Justice may be served. You have to agree with that. He hit that ball extremely well.
Well, I think he deserved that because of the fact that Shannon missed the 1 ball and left nothing.
And it adds to the
now they're
of the
equal.
match.
Now they're equal. Now, what I like doing here is using low left English and hitting about the first diamond to the right of the lower left-hand corner pocket. It's a nice shot here.
If he happens to execute this shot correctly, this is such a beautiful shot to watch go up that rail like this. I mean, come on, tell me about it. That is absolutely beautiful. We've seen some fantastic pool in this match, Grady.
By the way, I teach that on some of my tapes and at my seminars, how to measure that and hit it and so forth. I told you where he had to hit it the first diamond.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Low left English.
Hitting it and executing it are 2 different things. You have to have that good stroke, too.
Oh, of course.
To get that 2 ball to, like, bend around that 4 ball, considering where you're hitting it. And that's exactly what he's done. And it looks like it may have won him this match.
Yeah, this is, barring the unpredictable, this is probably all over. He'll come out 1 rail above the 6 ball here, just like this. Nice shot.
I think that either player winning this match was a justice, because both of these players, I think, played extremely well in this match. And for one of these players to go on to lose this match is some sort of an injustice, in my opinion, because they're eliminated from the tournament.
Oh, I agree with you. He's going to, well, let's see what he's going to do here. I thought he looked at that like he wanted to play position for the side, and that's hard to fault him.
Well, he'll end up playing position for the 7 and the 8, both in the same corner. No reason to do anything differently.
Right. He'll go to the rail after hitting the 6 ball and out a few inches.
Yeah, well, he's playing position for the 7 in the side. Now, I don't agree with that, but of course, see, because now he's going to have to play position again.
Yeah, but I spoke with him, Billy, and he told me he thinks he's playing better 9 ball than anybody in the world. He feels like his ball striking skills are at their apex, and sometimes you just feel like you can do anything, especially if you're a Shannon Daulton, and I think he's in good shape.
Well, I thought that his run-out percentage was better by playing the 7 and the 8 in the same pocket because you have position and you're going to stay close to the ball. And this isn't really an ideal angle either, you know.
But you have that age-old bromide that you and I have to face at our advanced age. We're sitting in this booth talking about things while they're playing in this championship tournament. You know what I mean, pal?
But nevertheless, Daulton and Rempe both played extremely well. Daulton shooting a very high TPA on the total performance average, and he goes on to win this match 11 games to 9. I think we got treated to a spectacular match.
We'll be back in 1 second.
Okay, Shannon Daulton has joined us here in the booth, and once again, Shannon, great match. You totally were prepared to play this match. It definitely showed in your performance. I mean, the stats in this match were very high. You shot a high TPA, and you just played great. You know, you shot a 906. You pocketed 87 balls. You only missed 3 balls. The problem you were having was on the break. You know, and I think Grady. You mentioned that he needs to change his break in order to win this match because Rempe was at that time breaking the balls better than him.
Yeah, he made a big-time season. He showed all the signs of the consummate professional, well-seasoned. You made a big change on the break, Shannon, and you started being ultra-successful.
Yes, that's true. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, you know, the hard break is no good anymore. They've eliminated it from pool. Actually, just to be honest with you, and Jim feels the same way, and most good players that I've talked to feel the same way. I think that the way that the balls are breaking now really hurts pool as far as spectators go, as far as the crowd goes, and as far as the players goes. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be something done to where the big break has to show up again. I think that's what all the fans want to see. I think it's what all the good players want to do. It's the way 9-ball was meant to be played. I mean, it's the way we've all played it up till history, till the last couple of years.
What would you suggest? Maybe having a minimum break speed? We'd have to have a radar gun at every tournament to enforce that.
I have thought about it and thought about it and thought about it because it's truly bothering me. It really is. I mean, I feel like I've got a pretty good break as far as it comes to a hard break. And the only solution that I can come up with to completely eliminate it and you can break whatever speed that you want to break is to play 10-ball. That's the only thing that I can see because they started off the 1 on the spot, the corner ball goes straight in, or the 1 goes in the side. Well, now they're wrecking the 9 on the spot. Well, you just cut them a little bit now and it still goes straight in and the 1 goes in the side. I mean, it's turning, well, you've seen what we was averaging breaking, what, like 13, almost 14 miles per hour?
Yeah,
when in a regular match, I'm going to average breaking between 27 and 30. And I just think I really hate to see it do to 9-ball what it's doing to it. I mean, 9-ball's a tough enough game anyway, but you're, it's sad that when you come to the U.S. Open that you can pick someone out of the stands, and if you can teach them how to hold a pool stick, that they can break the balls as good as one of the greatest players in the world.
Well, I'll make you a fair analogy now that you mention it. I happen to agree with you wholeheartedly, even though this type of soft and medium break benefits the likes of me and Billy, because we can be competitive with anybody, no matter how good their break is. But it would be like me being able to go out and drive the ball as well as Tiger Woods. Well, same thing.
The way that I explain that, that's my exact way of saying that. It would be like saying, okay, guys, we're going to go to the PGA Tour. We're going to give you all $5 million. But now everybody has to hit a sand wedge off the tee.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, all in all,
people want to see the big break. They go to the golf tournaments to see Tiger Woods hit at 350. They go to basketball games to see Shaq dunk at power. Now all of a sudden, I'm breaking the balls with my playing cue. I've not done that since I've been 10 or 11 years old.
Well, anyway, you shot 906 despite scratching 3 times on the break. If it hadn't been for those inadvertent scratches, you would have been up 970, 980. Exactly. I mean, that's almost perfect pool. Boy, your ball striking capabilities were just spectacular. Your position play was excellent. You came with several noteworthy banks in critical situations, which, of course, we've grown to expect that from Shannon Daulton. Now, I called the kick that you shot and exactly where you'd hit the rail to make it. I kind of enjoyed that. I barely could reach it.
I barely could reach it. It was all I could do to reach it, but really there was nothing else I could do. He made a good save, and he was a little unfortunate that the ball hung up in the pocket. And, you know, it's just one of those that happens,
Let's take a look at it on the screen right now.
No, I made a good shot there.
I said you'd hit right through the diamond with low left English, and
I thought I hit it too good. I thought I was going to follow it in.
Such a beautiful shot to watch when it's executed the way he did, eh?
Well, I think you're maybe the favorite to win this tournament from this point, don't you, Bill?
Well, you know, he's on the loser side here, Grady. So, you know, he's got a lot of work ahead
Oh, I
of him.
forgot
If he
about that.
continues to play like he's played his last match, you know, he's certainly not out of it, but he's got a lot of matches to win. And he's liable to come against a guy who plays real good, too. So,
Yeah,
you know.
it's really disheartening to me. I mean, I've played 4 matches. I drew a bye and I've played 4 matches. I shot 897 the first time we played there, 906 there, and the match I played against Alex was a way better match. I probably shot like 960 against him. And then I just had a horrible match against Scott. I truly don't know what happened. I do not know how to explain it. It was just, I don't know. I felt right. I'd done everything I know to do right, and just.
Well, everybody has a poor match once in a while. But if you did win this tournament from this point, I want to talk about that for just a minute. You'd be following in one illustrious gentleman's footsteps, St. Louis Roberts. He did that. He lost his first match and won this tournament. And you won one of my tournaments. You lost your first match and then won 9 in a row.
Yeah.
So you're not out of it.
No, I'm not out of it. It's just I'm not lying. The break has really got me disgusted. It really is. I mean, it's just, I don't even feel like we're playing pool.
Well, maybe I'll try to lobby for your sentiments concerning that, because I happen to agree with you. People come to watch the power break and long hard shots, and you know.
Okay, well, anyways, the break has always been a controversial area in this game for a long time. It's probably going to continue to be that. So, you know, whatever we say, however we feel, is not going to change the situation. We got the Sardo rack. The balls are being racked with the 9 on the foot spot. If the softer break at this time is the appropriate way to break the balls, you're going to have to make the transition, make the adjustment, and deal with it.
You have to if you're going to have any chance to win.
So we're going to have to close this off now. Anyways, once again, Shannon, congratulations on a superbly played match, and good luck in your future matches.
Thank you guys very
The same
much.
from me too. Thanks.
Thank you
Shannon.
guys. Appreciate it.
On behalf of Grady Mathews, this is Bill Incardona saying thanks a lot for supporting ACCUSTATS. Give Pat a call, 800-828-0397.